What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, all right? It is the 16th of May today. We're at about $103.7 thousand, moving sideways. Not doing a whole lot. It is Friday, the end of the week here, the end of the stock week, and generally speaking, historically, we have seen some very low volume weekends. If you're looking here at this volume reading indicator at the base here, all these bars, you can see that these areas here where there's low volume, it's practically absent-minded volume. Do you see how it's like all evenly spaced apart? That's because here that's on, and if you look at the dates down here, it'll show you that's on Saturday to Sunday. That's over the weekend. Here that's Saturday to Sunday. It's over the weekend. Same thing every single time. So the weekend is very boring, or at least it's been very boring. Boring, absolutely boring, and of course, you guessed, it was boring. No excitement there. I would anticipate we have yet again another very boring weekend for Bitcoin. It's probably not going to be too dramatic, but there are times where over these weekend phases we do see some crazy mania happen, right? This was Sunday right here, Sunday going into Monday, that we dropped down. So Sunday can promote, and we have seen a few times this cycle where Sunday has been a relatively big day. Let's see if I can find that. Let's see, like right here, Sunday, right there. Sunday's that was a big day dropping wise. Um, let's see, that was a Monday. This one was a Sunday, big day pumping wise. That was a big day dropping wise. Friday, Saturday, Sunday here we did drop a little bit. Let's see, this day. That was a Monday. That was a Sunday. So I'm just saying sometimes we do move up over the weekend, but generally speaking we don't. So just get prepared for a boring weekend. But I mean, if we do break out over the weekend, that'd be nice. I would like it if the next 2 days were red. Even if today could close red, right? We're at about 0.1% to the upside. I'm not saying anything crazy red. I mean, the lower the better, I guess, because then we'll cool off more. But I'm not one of those guys that thinks we're going below $100,000, you guys. I really do think that we're going to hold this 100K level, or if we do go below it, it will be just below it. I don't believe we're going to see 97K or anything ever below that price ever again. Ever again. Not in this bull market, and then in the bear market we'll see those prices. I mean, never again. We'll never see prices below 100,000, below 97K ever again if things hold up here. If we were to go a little bit below 100K, I guess it's a little preemptive to say that, because we could see a slightly lower low or something like that, but don't get scared of that is all I'm trying to say. A couple of red days between now and Monday, the beginning of next week, would really help in cooling off this RSI. It's cooled off a little bit, but I'd like it if we could get out of the overbought zone, because that would be nice. Generally speaking, where you're in this area where you can bounce right off the overbought zone, that promotes some really strong environments to bounce from. And we're not bouncing here. We have 8 hours, 55 minutes left of the day, so my assumption would be that we're probably not pumping here. So just get it over with. Get 2 red days in a row over the weekend and cool this RSI off so that next week we can pump. And I think that we will pump. If we look at this, just comparing it to what we've done recently, from here consolidating to when we broke out, that was 9 days. Here consolidating until we broke out, that was 16 days. You could argue that 14 days, that was the beginning of that move there. 16, 14, whatever, however you want to go about it. 16, 14, I'm just going to say 16 and 9 days, so it encapsulates the range better. From here to Monday, which is when we could potentially break out, that'd be 11 days, right smack dab in the middle of this range here. It's on time. It's appropriate. It's exactly with what we've been seeing so far. And, this might be, let's see, it might be an impulsive wave count. I don't know if it is. It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. I wonder if this is what do they call that? Is it a leading diagonal? Is that what are they? Leading diagonal. Let's see. In Elliott wave theory, a leading diagonal is a 5-wave pattern that begins a motive wave, like wave 1. Let me just see. Let me double check here. What do they got here? Yeah, it's like this. It's like 1, 2, 3, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But what if instead of that, yeah, this is more what I'm thinking. What if it was this? If you don't know what I'm talking about with Elliott wave theory, let me just back this up real quick, okay? So Elliott wave theory, and if we go here, Elliott wave, impulse waves, whatever, right? If this were to be a 5-wave count, we would have wave 1, which I think would end all the way up at like 121K. Wave 2 would be a corrective phase and come back down and back test prior resistance. Wave 3 would likely take us to 160 or something, or maybe it takes us to 140. Actually, let me redo that. I'll have to redo that. And then if it took us to 140, we'd probably pull back here and find support there. Hold on, let me redo this real quick. 140, something like this. Yes, something like that. And then wave 5, I believe, would take us all the way up to 170 to 180K. With wave 1 being the leading diagonal. So it's a 5-wave count. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate moves, and this looks like it's all one move. But if you break down that first move, it's actually it's a leading diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe this in itself. No, that wouldn't make any sense, would it? Would it be here then? Would it be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're about to see our 5th leg? I wonder. I really do wonder. Anyways, just thoughts. Just thoughts out here, you guys. Just some thoughts. If we do find resistance at 120, 121, like I think we will, and we pull back to this area, we're definitely going to entertain the thought of being in some kind of 5-legged pattern, in which we might anticipate resistance around 130 to 140, and then support back at the 120 area, and then a nice single-handed move all the way up to about 180K, something similar to this, but I think with a lot faster of a pace. I don't think that, and the way that I have this drawn, this move would happen, over the course of like between now and the end of July. I think that it would be shorter. I think that it would happen by the end of June, if not early July, something like that. So it's not drawn to scale. It's not proportionately accurate, but I don't know. It's just an idea. Anyways, I might be wrong. I'm not the most experted person in Elliott wave theory, but look into it if you'd like to. See if you know what I'm talking about there. Anyways, Bitcoin here at 104K now. I really do think it'd be nice if we could close the weekend, the next 2 days red. Let's see, 1 hour time frame, consolidating, rather neutral, but with a bullish tilt to it, I will say. You do have lower lows and lower highs here. You kind of are in a downtrend, but right here, you're doing things a bit differently. You're consolidating, where here you just found resistance, here you just found resistance, here you just found resistance, coming down each time. The fact that you're consolidating now could mean that you're getting ready to break out of this 1 hour up or downtrend and to the upside. And this 1 hour downtrend started basically when this whole consolidation phase started here. So it is possible that over the next day you do move up. I wouldn't mind it if the weekend was bullish. I just think if we were to produce higher readings over the weekend, I don't believe that we would run from here all the way up to 120K. I think we'd probably stop around our all-time highs, if not just above or just below, and then we'd see a more serious correction down here. So if you guys want to make a straight shot up to 120, what I would ask for is a little bit more cooling off in the RSI. But you never know. Even from here, we could run up to 120. I'm just talking out loud here, right? Let's see. 1 hour RSI looks a little bit bullish. I'm not gonna lie. We'll see how it goes. The 15-minute is a little bit bullish too. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame here. You're getting lower highs, lower lows, right? This does look bearish, but again, slight difference here. Rejected immediately, rejected immediately, rejected immediately. Now you've got this little pivot here. It's a bit different behavior. Different behavior might get different results. Nonetheless, this 4-hour looks like it wants to get into the oversold zone, or at least something around there, a little bit lower. Maybe you've already done that. Maybe that's exactly what this double bottom was. I don't know. Let's see how the day ends. I'll definitely have a more conclusive video by the end of today, I would assume, because we still have another, 2 4-hour candles left. So 2 more candles will definitely provide some clarity as far as what we're doing here. And then, of course, we do have the diamond pattern, don't we? And in that case, we have broken out of the diamond pattern already, haven't we? We've got the diamond here, diamond there. You broke out to the downside and ripped right back up. That's very common behavior for diamond patterns. It's very common. And in fact, a lot of people, myself included, whenever I started drawing diamonds, they'd get that wrong. They would draw that fake out as part of the diamond pattern, something like that, and then you're breaking out here. But that's not what the case is at all. The case of the matter, or the fact of the matter is, the diamond pattern did break out already. I only know this because I've been doing technical analysis since 2017, and like the beginning of 2017, and I've seen these diamond patterns often, right? Maybe not often. They're not the most common. They're not the most common patterns, but these are some of the first patterns that I interacted with in my time trading. So I obsessed about them and I learned about them. They're not something worth obsessing over. It's just a pattern. It's nothing. But still, whenever you're new, you're like, diamond pattern, diamond top. What is this? So I might know a little bit more than the average Joe about it. I don't know. But from what I do know is that this breakout point here, doing this and then pulling back up like that, that's actually very, very indicative of diamond top behavior, and likely in this essence of being in a diamond top, we wouldn't stop here. We actually might move up over the weekend. That's interesting. Kind of conflicting with my ideas that I had already. Maybe we don't get a red weekend, you guys. Maybe we get a green weekend. If we do get a green weekend, we're going to see a move. We might be in the middle of a move now. That is something, and I don't know if it'll be exactly this big. It'll probably be a little bit smaller than this, but I'm just going to... Why can't I get it there? It'd be something on the lines of a move that would take us up to about 108K. So I think that's what's going to happen. Unfortunately, yes, here the 16th of May, I'm calling for. I think what's going to happen is we're not getting a red weekend. Damn it. And we'll probably move up. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, because I think it'd be nice if we did get a red weekend, because this, I would like higher targets than just this. If we do this over the weekend, if by the beginning of the week we're actually up here, we'll probably form some bearish divergence. We'll top off. We'll find a 1, 2, 3 triple top, and then we'll probably consolidate again next week. We'll probably pull all the way back down to these prices, form some kind of false head and shoulders looking pattern, right? With this being your left shoulder, that being the head, and then this being your right shoulder. And then at the end of the month, we'll start to rip. If we do all that, man, that's really going to hurt the 130 to 140K expectations by the end of the month, or at the very least, it'll diminish the chances of seeing that. My only hope would be that I'm wrong in one of two ways. One, this is a more explosive breakout move and it doesn't stop where I think it's going to stop. Or two, we're not breaking out of the top. Maybe this isn't a diamond top pattern and we've identified this improperly, and we continue to come down over the weekend. That would be nice, because if we continue to come down over the weekend, the RSI cools off and it gives us more room to run. I don't think that if we start running from here, I don't think that we're going to produce a small move. I don't think that we're just going to move a little bit above this high. But I mean, hell, 109K from 104K is not really that big, is it? 120K I definitely would not expect to see, because if we went all the way up to 120K from here, I mean, you're going to produce some pretty crazy readings on the RSI. I could see us producing stronger readings than this, but something above the 90, I don't know if we'll see that. But time will tell, especially over the weekend. I don't know if we'll see that. But when the weekend does move, we do produce big moves. Man, I'm sorry, guys. This is a big old head scratcher in this video, but we're just trying to figure it out. If I'm being honest, the 1 hour looks all right. The 4 hour looks bearish, but is showing signs right now of being bullish, potentially breaking out of this downtrend right now with this 4 hour candle that we're about to close in 46 minutes. We've got the diamond top pattern, which broke out false to the downside and is now ripping to the upside. They're known for high velocity moves, and if it's a high velocity move, that means we don't have 2 days. We don't have the weekend to consolidate. High velocity means you move up fast. So, but unfortunately, this diamond top is so small that the measure move itself only takes us up to about 108K, where we could literally stop there. Once you hit your measure move target, they're also known for high velocity moves to the downside too. So it really wouldn't surprise me. Don't get shaken out, you guys, if the next let's say the next week gets a little bumpy. Okay. I got nothing else for you guys. Interesting thoughts. I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong, but I'm sticking with it. My analysis, in case it isn't clear, the summary of this video is we're going to move up to our all-time high area, not breaking above it, and then we will pull back starting out next week. We will pull back to this exact same area, and ideally not break below $100,000, but this will be a more significant correction than what we've seen here, and there will probably be a lot of panic in the markets, thinking that we're going to crash and go lower, that was the high, we got a double top, a triple top, this is the beginning of the bear market, and then we'll consolidate because of that uncertainty, and then toward the end of the month we'll start to break out. But I doubt that'll be enough time to go to 130 to 140K by the end of the month, like I've been calling for all month. So likely we'll be at lower targets, but reaching for that area nonetheless, probably in the beginning of June instead of the end of May. I hope that all makes sense. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. One of two ways, right? The weekend is either boring and we do just move down and sideways. That would be good to see. Or two, we're more explosive than I'm giving it credit for. But I don't know. I'm not making the call because I think I'll be wrong. I'm making the call because I think it's what's right. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.